So there I am, sitting on the couch watching TikTok after a long, hard day of turtling, and I come across something that piques my interest.
If they see this video, it will be removed. But if this video is removed, it only further proves my point.
Right off the bat, that is what I hear. I'm intrigued. Please, come with me. Let us watch the rest of this, shall we?
In 2009, the South Carolina Aquarium got an albino alligator named Alabaster. He was with them until 2019. In these years, I spent a lot of time at the aquarium.
First of all, the demeanor, it's extraordinarily serious. The same demeanor she has is when people do like true crime, murder type situations where they're talking about like, I don't know, 300 people lost their lives on the Titanic. Jack Harlow or whatever his name was one of them, and it was super tragic, and only 3 survived, and find out next episode on Dragon Ball Z. Like super serious.
When my summer camp group was done exploring, we would hang out by the albino alligator exhibit until it was time to leave.
So I hear albino alligator exhibit. Well, first of all, I hear aquarium, and I'm like, hey, aquariums. I do turtles. I used to do aquariums. I like that. So I'm very intrigued now. This seems like a very serious topic, and this seems like a topic that I'm interested in.
One thing about me is I love alligators, and
oh my god, me too.
And every once in a while, a man would come out holding a baby alligator that you could pet, and I was not the type of person to pass up an opportunity to pet a baby alligator.
Neither am I. Hey, alligators, am I right?
In the hours spent in front of the albino alligator tank, I noticed that Alabaster had one distinct movement. Only one.
A little menacing.
He would be floating in the top right-hand corner of his tank, dive down to the bottom left, and then float back up to the exact same point and position in the top right. He did this once every 15 to 20 minutes, like clockwork. Every so often, the baby alligator man would come out, but instead of carrying a baby alligator, he would start yelling about how Alabaster was real, a very real albino alligator. And I thought, that's odd. No one does that by the otter exhibit.
It's because they're otters. Otters move around a lot. Okay, let me hear you out.
It was after some time that I realized the truth that had been sitting in front of my face all those years. Alabaster wasn't real. I mostly kept this to myself because who wants to listen to someone screaming about how the albino alligator at the aquarium isn't real? But here's the thing. There's only about 50 albino alligators in the world. To have a fake one at your aquarium where you charge $30 for admission would be the controversy of controversies. So finally one day I decided I couldn't take it anymore. On June 8th of 2019, I posted on my Facebook, the albino alligator at the aquarium is fake. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what videos you show me. It's fake and no one can convince me otherwise. I have a friend who worked at the aquarium at the time who commented on that post and said, what if I told you I fed him? And I said, I don't care. Unless I can see you feed him or I can feed him myself, I don't believe he's real and you will not convince me otherwise. And then he said something really strange. He said, well, I guess there's no helping then, no contracts or anything, just hands-on experience with a live alligator. I never mentioned a contractual obligation to stay silent. Who are you trying to convince? This post stirred up a decent amount of controversy among my Facebook friends. People commenting saying they never thought to question if he was real, that they'd have to go check it out for themselves. People saying they didn't really think he was real either. People posting on their own Facebooks about it. This is when it took a very dark turn.
Very dark turn, you say?
July 12th of 2019. Extremely rare albino alligator at South Carolina Aquarium is sick. I knew they wouldn't stop there.
Who's they? The people at the aquarium. The boogeyman!
So my thought is they're gonna have the alligator die now that a bunch of people are buzzing about it being fake.
Your Facebook friends don't count as a bunch of people.
July 19th, 2019. Poor sweet Alabaster meets an untimely fate. June 8th, July 19th. You can't prove a negative, so I have no way to definitively prove that he wasn't real. But the aquarium never definitively proved that he was. And now we'll never know. And if your favorite exhibit at the South Carolina Aquarium was the albino alligator exhibit, yeah, I'm sorry. That's my bad.
The Turtle Man
was too stunned to speak.
Okay, at this point, I'm very intrigued. I live an hour and 20 minutes away from the South Carolina Aquarium. If that alligator hadn't passed away, I would be down there right now going to visit, questioning people, and checking it out for realsies. So let's do a little bit of research and look into this, shall we? There's actually some interesting things here. First of all, any reptile that's transported across state lines in the state of South Carolina, especially with something that's a non-profit such as the South Carolina Aquarium, needs to be super transparent with all their documents. I did a little bit of researching, and as I'm looking into this, I am finding that the South Carolina Aquarium has no permit for this alligator. Now, the weird thing is that they do have permits for multiple other alligators that they have on exhibits and a bunch of other animals that they have. I've worked with non-profit organizations before. Everything is super above the board, and you can literally find everything right in the documents.
And now they've gotten documents. We have the transcripts.
We have it all.
Now, the thing is, there is a loophole that says that they don't exactly have to release these documents, so they could exist somewhere inside their internal system. It's just a little bit strange that they don't have it out for the public to see while they have all of their other things out there for us to see. Now, this is where it gets really interesting. In 2009, when the albino alligator was actually brought to the aquarium, they had changed who the curator was for, for the aquarium. The man's name was Kevin Mills. Now, as we look further into Kevin, we actually find out that he has a long history of dealing with real estate. Real estate, what a strange thing. Like, who would have thought that, like, if you're a curator for the aquarium, what are you doing in real estate? And this is where it gets funky. It turns out that his real estate group, invested a lot of money into the aquarium right before, like 2 months before he became the curator. 2 months before he became the curator, that was only like 6 months before they got the albino alligator. So now I'm like, okay, this is a little bit funky. This kind of goes way higher than I thought it was. So as I mentioned, the aquarium is an hour and 20 minutes away from me. I decided to send them a letter to see if I could come in and interview people. And roughly 2 weeks later, I got a response. They banned me from the friggin' aquarium. I've never set foot in this place and I'm banned. How does that happen? I've never been to the South Carolina Aquarium. I ask one question and I'm banned. The question is, why? If you've got nothing to hide, why am I no longer allowed on premises? So now at this point, you guys know that I work with turtles, I've worked with snakes before, I've worked with a lot of critters, and I have friends who have worked very, very closely with alligators. So I decided to give one of them a call to see what his thoughts were on photos, videos, different pictures of this albino alligator, and get an expert's opinion on whether or not this thing could be fake. Move this over here. Hello, Carter.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
I'm all right.
Thank you for taking a minute to meet with you. I just have a quick video that I want you to take a look at. I want you to tell me, well, we'll get to that, but can you just state for the camera, for the people at home, what your credentials are?
Yeah, for sure. So my name's Carter Blessing. I graduated with a major in biology and zoology from the South Harmon Institute of Technology. Now I'm a graduate student in veterinary school. I've worked with alligators my whole life and lots of other reptiles since I was probably 8 or 9 years old.
Awesome. Fantastic. So clearly you know your way around the critters.
Oh, for sure.
Okay. So let's go ahead and pull up this video right here and just tell me what you think. We'll take a look at it. All right, so Carter, what are your thoughts on that critter?
Yeah, that alligator is really interesting looking. Like, really interesting.
Yeah, like, okay. So can you tell me exactly what you think is interesting about it?
Well, it's albino. It's albino.
Yeah. No. Oh, sorry. Besides the albino thing, like, does it look like, normal? Like, does it look real?
What do you mean? What do you mean? Does it look real?
Like, is that a real alligator?
That might be one of the dumbest questions you've ever.
Oh God! Okay, all right. That was our expert there. It's real. Of course, it's real. How would it be fake? Do you know how much animatronics cost in order to actually make this? All of the information that I've said before this moment has been fake. Carter's not even a real scientist. It's just all bullshit. I saw this freaking TikTok. Literally go on Google. I look up videos. I click on the first video that I found. Like, I pull up the footage of the alligator. Here it is, like, moving around, like, clawing around. Like, it puts its face up, takes a breath of air, goes back down. Lady, what in God's name are you talking about? Guys, please don't believe things that you see, especially stupid conspiracies like this. How would they fake this? How would they have an animatronic that would somehow cost less money than actually having an albino alligator? The worst part is that she has some follow-up videos where she's just like, I know I'm probably wrong. I know that I'm wrong, but you can't convince me. Like, I will not be convinced. That is so ignorant. There is no curator. There is no donating of all. I mean, there probably is a curator, but there's no donating of the money, mismanaged funds, whatever. No, that's for a certain turtle company that we're not talking about in today's video. This is insane. This is so stupid. It's freaking real. And unfortunately, it's no longer alive. Somehow, I think that albino alligator has more to contribute to society than this lady. That might be a little bit harsh. I'm so sorry. No, I'm not. Goodbye.